So I do feel like a lot of the time there are British standards and kind of like stereotypes associated with my background. And I think my family as well is quite different from those standards in the sense that we don't lose our culture, but we still try to keep moving forward with new standards and kind of like provoke that change. But I do feel like a lot of the time my culture is lost a little bit. But it's definitely imposed like in my home surroundings. But obviously I feel like it's just little things that you notice, like when you're out with your friends and stuff, and it's kind of like you're not being yourself, and you're kind of like acting and kind of like playing the role off a different standard. So my parents always asked me and kind of gave me that option to kind of like take my culture as my own and kind of like bring it to the table as whatever I wanted to. They never kind of like forced that upon me, with my family being so different and kind of like letting me take my culture for what I want to take it for. I do feel like that a lot of the time I kind of felt like my friends, well, not really my friends to be fair, I just felt like a lot of people in my schools and in my upbringing would kind of be like, you're not part of your culture because you don't follow this, or you can't be Pakistani or you can't be Muslim because you don't follow these rules and you don't like do these things. And there was a lot of hypocrisy in the sense that I was taking my culture for what I wanted it to be, and a lot of people kind of had boundaries on what my culture should be when I had my own interpretations. So it was quite hard. So right now I am currently fully Pakistani, obviously, but I am a practicing Muslim, despite kind of like having those restrictions put on me by other people. So my grandparents were the first to come here, and I think they were, from what I've been told, one of the first Pakistani families to come to Newcastle and bring that culture over here. So my grandma raised me with that culture, and my granddad died when I was pretty young. But I feel like had I kind of like gotten to know him a little bit better, I would understand a lot more about my culture and values and where I come from. But again, my parents do try to like give me that option on kind of like bringing my culture forward into the table as how I want it to be portrayed. So I have had, I'd say, a fair amount of influence, but kind of like keeping my culture whilst also maintaining my British culture, because I feel like you can't ignore one or the other. And moving forward, like the blend of them both together is very important, and that's something that my parents and my grandparents have always reinforced to me.